up with the millennium?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we don't even know when it is. Is it 2000 or 2001? Have they made their minds up yet? I don't know, you know. And the millennium bug. Ooh, this is terrifying, this, isn't it? I can hardly sleep at night. January the 1st, the year 2000, every computer in the world reverts to 1900 and you can buy a car for fourpence. And how are we going to celebrate the millennium? With the Millennium Dome. Yes! £750 million for an upturned wok. Are we mental in this country or what? And what are they going to put in it now? Some plastic figure, a man and a woman hugging each other or something, and you enter him through his elbow. God knows where you come out of her. Actually, this struck me, is that if you think about it, the first baby of the millennium will be worth a fortune. Can you imagine what papers and magazines will pay for the first baby of the millennium? I mean, it'll make the lottery look like small change. What it actually means is, come early April 1999, we'll be shagging anything that breathes. Anything with an orifice, donuts, letterboxes. And this is weird as well. I mean, you've all read that New Year's Eve, 1999, everywhere is book solid. You can't get into a restaurant, you can't get into a theatre, you can't get into a hotel, everywhere, book solid. But I've yet to meet anyone who knows what they're doing. You know what you're doing? No. And when you decide to do something, you can't, because it's all booked. And going into services on January the 1st, can you imagine going into a hospital, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, she's having a baby! The gynecologist is the one dressed as a chicken. He's having a heart attack, he's having a heart attack, hooray! Go away! Who's got the defibrillators? That's the ones! Who's been toasting cheese sandwiches on these things? And what state the police on January the 1st? They took it back at the best of times. Beep, 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 beep. Come on, drive faster, you bastards. Come on. Let's go round the M25's a cluster. Come on, come on. Hey, have you got any drugs in that car? No, we've got hundreds in ours. Now that's what I call green. I'm emigrating, I tell you, I'm emigrating. And also, now call me paranoid here, but I've worked this out. Right, it's going to be Christmas time, okay? It's going to be Christmas time, and no room in the hotels. No room in the Holiday Inn hotels, no room in the hotels, Christmas. If I see three wise men on camels trotting round the bull ring, I'll be down on my knees quicker than Gillian Tailforth in a Range Rover. But I mean, with the year 2000 approaching, I think there's a lot of cuckoos out there. Well, the gullible people, you know, they think because it's 2000, something special's going to happen, you know. Oh, Jasper, ooh, 2000, very mysterious. I've been watching the X-Files. These people think the X-Files is a documentary, you know. Well, the only mystery about the X-Files is when is Mulder going to get his leg over Scully. That's the only... But these people are really gullible, aren't they? I mean, and you can wind them off. It's wonderful, you know. Just tell them you don't believe in any of it. What? What? Well, what about all the evidence, Jasper? Hey, it's very mysterious. What about all the evidence? Tell me that. Well, what evidence? Well, crop circles. What about crop circles? Well, what about them? Oh, it's intelligent life forms sending us messages about the future. Well, if they're so intelligent, why don't they send us a fax? Coming down here in a combine harvester. Well, what about spontaneous combustion then, Jasper? Very mysterious. Well, who's it happened to? Well, it happened to a nephew of mine. Come on, no, he did. He was sniffing lighter fuel at the time. And he lit up a cigarette and boom! It was all over his lounge. That's sad. Oh, it was, yes. Oh, we held a séance to try and contact him, see what happened. Did you? Yes. What happened? Well, we all held hands. Oh, it's very mysterious. And we said, is there anybody there? Is there anybody there? Knock once for yes, twice for no. Well, what happened? It knocked twice. So there was nobody there? Yes. Well, who did the knocking? It's very mysterious, Jasper. And people will swear black is blue. A woman said to me, oh, my husband was abducted by aliens, Jasper. Oh, yes. Come on. No, well, you saw it? No. Well, he told me. He said it was aliens. Oh, what happened? Well, he came home very late one night. He was in a terrible state, and he'd been to the pub drinking, and he came out the pub, and the aliens were beaming rays into his head, and he could hardly stand up. Was everything spinning? Yes, how did you know? It's just a wild guess, really. And these blue lights were flashing all around him, and this weird sound going, ee-oh, ee-oh. And the aliens abducted him, and they took him to this little room, and they took the belt out of his trousers and the laces out of his shoes, and they took the dinner out of his stomach and spread it all over his shirt. Well, must be aliens. I mean, yeah, there are aliens here. There's no two ways about it. Oh, yes. And they all tow caravans. I love the open road, don't you, Jasper? It's just not bloody open when you're on it. You can't get past the cretins, can you? Beep, 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 beep. Got these 12-foot giraffe wing mirrors sticking out of the car. You can see the length of the queues behind them. We drove all the way to Cornwall and we never saw another car, did we, either? And according to the radio, we just kept missing these 12-mile tailbacks. If you want to upset one, get into a traffic jam with one. Get out your car, go into the caravan and use the bog. They hate that. And there's two types of caravanners, aren't there? There's those sort of P registrations, N registrations and stuff. And then there's those ones where the registration's written on the back of a cornflake box. Could be Tinker. There's a pony staring at you out the back window. And you can't overtake them. Well, you daren't overtake them, do you? Oh, I'm overtaking these. Like, well, you can't because they're tarmacking the road as they go. I've been reading a lot of women's magazines lately. I'm not trying to change gender or anything. I'm trying to get some idea as to the way women think. It's a waste of time, isn't it? Well, I'm trying, you know. But you do odd things. I mean, you pluck your eyebrows. I've never figured that one out. Get a great big pair of tweezers and you yank out every single hair with incredible amounts of pain, and when you finish, you get a big black crown and you fill them back in again. And what do you do in the bathroom that takes that long? What are you doing, growing another head or something? And bathrooms aren't big enough anymore. I mean, ever since Body Shop and it's like, you can't get into bathrooms now. There's bottles and tubes and lotions and stuff. I mean, peppermint foot powder. What the hell do you do with peppermint foot powder? I've got a glass with a toothbrush in and a razor. I have to keep it on the U-bend pipe. And I will never understand HRT. Hormone replacement therapy. This is baffling me and every other man on the planet. Well, for years, you blame hormones for all those mood swings you get into. You haven't eaten your cornflakes. I was just about... No, you weren't! You're going to take it to that floozy next door, weren't you? You've put milk in my tea. You always have milk in your tea. I know! Every single day of my life I have milk in my tea, but today I've changed my mind. And you don't know about it because you don't care. If the floozy next door had changed their mind, oh, you'd have been round there, so you know what you... You've hidden the knives again, haven't you? And that question every man dreads. Well? What do you think? Nice colour. What? You wouldn't notice anything, would you? Out comes the hedge trimmer, down your tie rack. Oh, you didn't have to do that. Yes, I did teach you a lesson. You're getting a bit carried away these days. What? Since when did I get carried away? Well, last year you drove the car out the garage without opening the doors. I made one mistake! And I hear about it for the rest of my life. It wasn't our car and it wasn't our garage. And then you reach 50 and you've run out of the stuff. What do? You go to the doctor's and he pumps you up to the eyeballs with it. Hello! I've had my hormone replacement therapy! Mum is home! Been there, done that. Oh, yes. And women's intuition. This is something that you're very proud of. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You have more of it than men, apparently. Yes. And, well, I think we'll agree with that one. And, yes, thank you. But don't write men off. We have our moments, you know. Eh? Oh, yes. When we come home at night, put the key in the door, we intuitively know we're in trouble. Our clothes are neatly laid out on the lawn. And you've changed the lock. And we intuitively know when you've had an orgasm. It's that look on your face when you come home. There's blokes out there going, what? And the missus next to him going, it's so true. I love questionnaires in women's magazines. These are good, these are good. Yeah. It's always about men normally, you know, and the main question is, what is it that you first look for in a man? Every single time, number one answer is good sense of humour. Bullshit. We're not buying that one, I'm sorry. Okay, ladies, you go into a bar. Standing at the bar is Kevin Costner, not renowned for his sense of humour, but he's having a drink and he's talking to Ken Dodd. Who are you going to choose, eh? Robin Hood or Robin the Taxman? Number two answer is normally Pert Bottom. Number three is someone you can take home to your folks. So where does Pavarotti fit into this? He calls women like you can't believe. He's not exactly a laugh a minute, is he? You can't take him home to your folks. There's no room. He's got a pert bottom. It starts at his neck. But, I mean, men do silly things as well. I have to say that. It's not a one-way traffic here, you know. Men say stupid things. You must have said to a bloke, you got any kids? Oh, no. Well, none that I know of. I have never heard a woman say that. And men will go up to the fridge, open the door, and stare inside for an hour. for something we want that you haven't bought. And blokes are hopeless with size and measurements and stuff, you know, like a Swift half is 7 pints. A 911 Porsche is a Morris 1000. This is 12 inches. And men love housekeeping. Look at all women go, what? No, well, not all housekeeping. We love vacuuming. Oh yes, because we've got a gadget. Yes. And it sucks and it blows. We like that. And we can be there in the pitch at Wembley. We can be in Star Wars. We love vacuuming because it's just like sex. Oh yes, you plug it in, you make silly noises for a couple of minutes and collapse back on the couch, convinced you've satisfied the wife. Love vacuuming. And men have to have control of the remote control. Oh yes, this is our new penis extension, yes. Oh, you can't get your hands on this one, no. You what? You want to borrow the remote control? Why? There's nothing on. It doesn't get lost down the sofa. We put it there. We know it. And men refuse to accept that the power ever runs out of batteries in a remote control. You know? I put them in 7 years ago. There's plenty of light in it. And the harder you press, the more chance of power coming out. And the closer you get to the television, it's going to come on. You've only got to go, and it'll change. But no. And we have a remote control for the television, for the hi-fi, for the satellite channel, for the video recorder, for the curtains. We're fully armed. We can control the world from the sofa. The best time to have a remote control is late at night when everybody else is in bed. And you've got the control for the satellite channels. Flicking through, looking for the mucky German film. Oh yes. Turn the volume down. Don't want to wake anybody up. Oh, I couldn't sleep. Would you like a cup of tea? And finally, the curtain's open. What are you watching? Football! Who is it? It's Kilmarnock v Clydebank. It's the World Cup. Now, you'll only do this once. If you are recording one of the terrestrial channels, you know, BBC One, 2 or ITV. Yeah, and Channel 5, thank you. Yes, I forgot that. Are you from Channel 5? You don't look normal. If you are recording one of the satellite channels, whatever you flick over to will go onto the videotape. You only do it once. The kids are recording Miss Marples for the mom, you know, and you've been going, When she's watching it next day, you are in the shit. How was it for you, Miss Marples? Give it to me, hot and steady! Jasper! You only do it once. Ah, dear. When you watch TV, you realise it's a young person's world, isn't it? All the adverts are for young people. Well, most of them. It's all sort of supermodels and high-tech graphics, computer-generated imagery to sell the stuff to the young kids. When you're 50-something, it's Frank Windsor coming on in a cardy telling you you're going to die. Thanks, Frank. You know. But that's where men and women are the same, really. You try and stop the advancing years, don't you, you know? And it's sort of, you know, there's telltale signs, like your eyesight starts to go, don't you? And men refuse to accept the fact that their eyesight is going. You know? No, I am fine, thank you. I can see perfectly well. I just have a little bit of problem when there's a dark light. Okay, that's all it is. I don't have to go to the optician. Right? I'm over here. In the restaurant, you know, the maitre d's got the menu and you go, yes sir, yeah, and can you read it now? Yes. And of course hair loss, that's peculiar to men. Women, you're very lucky there. And now I know all about this, obviously. I'm using a shampoo now called What's the Point? But fortunately, I've come to terms with it now, and it doesn't bother me to water off a duck's back. But I mean, it is a very sensitive subject for a lot of men, and to the point where some men wear toupees. And like, I tell you what, it takes a lot of courage to wear a toupee. So if you're wearing one, fine, not a problem. You know, no, I'm not getting that here at all. I understand perfectly. Okay, thank you. It's just not for me. That's all I'm saying. Well, I don't see the point of them, really. I mean, you see a bald-headed bloke walking down the street, you don't take a blind bit of notice, do you? No, he sticks a rug on top of his head. It is, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I can see the straps coming down in. And you get those blokes who grow their hair either side of their head down to the ground and then wrap it round like a shredded wheat. They grow their eyebrows and they comb that back as well. The hair from out the nostrils, that comes round. Comb the pubes up, you know, get it all. I might try the pubes, actually. At least there's a point to it, you know, the way people keep coming up and ruffling your hair. How you doing, Jasper? This is something that's always puzzled me, and I'm not getting at blokes with tubes, it just puzzles me. If a bloke's wearing a tube, fine, and he has a relationship with a woman, at what state of the relationship does he let on that it's a tube? Because you've got to be very sure of your ground there, isn't it? I mean, you know, you better be pretty sure it's going to be well received. You've got to pick your time and the place as well. You know, it'll be an intimate dinner for two with a candlelight and a couple of glasses of wine. He'll be saying, Marjorie, I have a very deep-seated personal secret to tell you. What's that, Wiggy? Well, maybe she finds out by accident, you know, the relationship has got really passionate, you know, and they're in bed and they're going for it. Yeah. After 10 minutes, he ducks under the sheets with a full head of hair. Pops back 10 minutes later looking like Lee Hurst. And she looks under the sheets and thinks, blimey, I'll have to get my bikini line waxed. Men are funny about it. I was thinking about this too. I have never in my life had a conversation with another bloke about shaving. See, all the blokes are going, oh, he's not going to talk about shaving. It's weird. We never talk about shaving. I mean, women would be amazed at that because you talk about all sorts of things, all sorts of intimate things. It's no problem, isn't it? I think that's brilliant. But like, and in fact, I think shaving is the men's curse. Yeah, well, women have got a curse, okay, and we know all about that. Bloody hell, do we know all about that? But that's just 4 or 5 days a month. We get ours every single day of our lives. I call that a curse. No one tells us about it. My parents never told me. No, I've had to find out about it all by myself. No books, no instructions. I'm going to have to get my son one day. I'll have to go, son. Look, something wonderful's happening inside your body. Yes, something's growing, and one day it's going to shoot through your face. And nobody told me about PST, pre-shaving tension. That's why I'm Samadhi first thing. I don't want any bloody breakfast! Give me some chocolate. Where's the chocolate? I don't want muesli like designer vomit. Where's the chocolate? I can't help it. It's my time of the morning. Where's me clothes? I want to go shoplifting. No, you can't have sex. I've got my beard on. And if I cut myself, none of them super absorbent things with bits of string dangling down the side. It's a newspaper all over me face. I look like the front cover of the Daily Mirror. I'm looking for a razor with wings. There you go. The one thing I've never been able to come to terms with hair and blokes is blokes who are bald but insist on wearing ponytails. What is that about? What are they trying to prove, you know? I mean, hey, bald as a coot with a bell pull between your shoulder blades. From the back, it looks like the cat's got stuck up the Christmas turkey. That's why they're called ponytails, because when you lift them up, there's an arsehole underneath.